So here we're looking due south, and if I bring this, you can see sunrise is starting to occur right over the Niederhorn. And then as we continue through the day, here we're looking due north, and sunset is occurring over here in the northwest. I am not at all convinced this, do not consider this a tutorial, because I'm not convinced that what I've done here is completely correct. It's a fun exercise. If anybody has a way of setting me straight on this, please leave it in the comments below. What's confusing me is that if I look at let's say that's noon, and here's the shadow that's being cast. By the way I've set it up, if I look at one website, which is the one I use to set this up, it appears to be correct. But I look at another website that calculates it, and it appears that that noon shadow ought to be like about there. So I don't know, I'm confused. It doesn't really matter, it's good enough for the game. But I'm purely expressing this as just a fun exercise. So if anybody has any thoughts or ideas, leave them in the comments. So let's have a bit of fun and set up our longitude and latitude so that shadows and sunrise and sunset occur in the correct location on our map. I came across this website called Find My Shadow. It allows you to set a date for a given location, set the location, and then it will graphically display the shadows that are cast depending on the height of the item and the time of day. So let's set our position for, oops, got to hit Control to zoom in on that. I'm sure all of Switzerland is the same. And then for our date, I'm still showing snow high on the mountaintops in the map. I like the look of it, but at the same time I wanted a lush green environment for the lower terrain. I did some research, and from what I've seen, it would appear that by mid to late May, it's probably a good bet that snow is still on the mountaintops. So let's set our date for, let's say May 19th. Sounds like a good date. And then again, by sliding that, we can see how our shadow is cast. So let's move these guys up out of the way. And let's bring one down here. We'll set it there. You can set its height and width, so we'll go 0.5 meters by 0.5 meters. And I'm going to set its height to 20 meters. I think what these two heights are is for like the side of it. So if you want both sides to be the same height, then you enter both values. You can see the shadow there is kind of squared off. So if we move this time slider, we can see how that tracks. Here we're close to noon. This grid, this is 10 meters grid scale for size of major grid line. So we can see at noon that our 20-meter high pole is casting roughly a 10-meter long shadow in that direction. And then at the extreme values of like early in the morning, our cast shadows almost 40 meters. So let's use this to duplicate this layout in our map. So in the map, I basically recreated what we saw on that graphic display. I positioned a pole that's 20 meters in height. I laid out gravel road, and I used gravel road because the gravel road's 10 meters in width. So that closely approximates the width here, 10 meters. So my roads represent this 40-meter line, this 40-meter line, and then the road there is basically taking up this area right here. So it's 40 meters from here to here, 40 meters from here to here. I set this road in here to, this is in theme editor right now, but in the map editor, the grid, one of the grid lines runs, north-south grid lines runs right through here. So that's what that road section there is for. And then I just set this parallel to that. So then I can, and you could do the exact same thing as this in the in-game with the latitude and longitude settings on, what the heck is it called? More beautification, I think. I'll check that before I bail on this. So using the atmosphere properties and the longitude and latitude settings, you can play with these dials and the time of day to get your shadows cast the same as what's showing on that. So here you can see your approximately a 40 meters extension for early morning. Then you're about 10-meter shadow just past noon, and then you have your 40-meter shadow in the evening. So, you know, I'm using another website here called Suncalc, and I'm set on Thun, May 19th. And and sunrise on that date's around 5 a.m. So you can see the sun is indeed rising right over this mountain right here. And if I go to sunset, it's just pretty much exactly where I have it set on the map. But here's the problem. You go to noon, and the shadows should be going, according to this the shadows should be going this way. And the way I've got it set from that other website, it should be coming from here. So I am not at all convinced that I've done this correctly. So consider this just a exercise in fun. If anyone has a better way of doing this or knows the correct position, leave it in the comments below. Sure how totally accurate this is, but it's a fun exercise. It makes you feel like you're representing the sun, somewhat accurately in the map. I also checked this against photographs over Lake Thun. I was able to find a sunrise photograph that clearly shows the sun rising over this Beatenberg area, and this mountain's called Niederhorn, and it clearly showed the sun rising right in this area. I found some sunset photos, but I really couldn't tell where the position where the photo had been taken from. But hopefully sunrise is good enough. And so anyway, I don't know how completely accurate all this is, but I found it to be a fun exercise and feel more confident that the sun position over Lake Thun is being portrayed reasonably accurately. So thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.